There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA, stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show for Sunday, May the 4th, Star Wars Day, here as we continue our sports betting weekend. Hope you had a chance to join us last night here on the Sports Money Network for the coverage of UFC Des Moines. We saw some good finishes and some exciting action with the guys last night. Thank that to them. Thank from me to them for having me on the big show there yesterday. I got promoted, got to hang out with the guys there for the card, and hopefully you were able to join us and had a good night. I didn't have a great night, I don't think. 7-5. I had myself at one unit. But fun time was had by all last night, and hopefully you were able to join us here. Thank you for joining me here this morning as we get ready for our sports betting day. We've got two big games in the NBA, including that Game 7 tonight between Golden State and Houston. And if one Game 7 wasn't enough, how about the matchup between St. Louis and Winnipeg tonight as well, as we will know our second finalist from the group after what we saw last night with the Dallas Stars with an incredible comeback late and stunned me and stunned everybody else with the win last night over the Colorado Avalanche 4-2 with those 3 goals in the third period, and Dallas advances in the Western Conference to face the winner of tonight's game between Winnipeg and St. Louis, and then we'll know all of our 8 teams in the NHL Conference Finals. Also last night, Game 7 in the NBA, and it was the Denver Nuggets destroying the Clippers here last night. And we did have the picks here yesterday with we had Colorado and Dallas over, by the way, as our premium pick selection there. And also we did have with the Clippers game over here last night, we had the over with Clippers and Denver. And also here yesterday, man, how about it with the Denver Nuggets? Man, they really crushed the Clippers there. The Clippers were out of gas early, it felt like, in that game, falling behind by as many as 25 points, and just a little bit too much for the Clippers to handle last night with Jokic and crew. So Denver advances to the Western Conference semifinals, where they'll meet the Oklahoma City Thunder there. So we'll find out tonight who the 8 teams are out west, or all the 8 teams are in the conference semifinals, with who will take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. So will it be Houston? Will it be Golden State? We'll preview that game. And, of course, Game 1, Cleveland and Indiana tonight. All right. Did have some big news yesterday with Greg Popovich announcing his retirement from head coaching. He'll still continue as team president. I think that's great news because we hadn't really seen too much from Coach. Still haven't seen much from Coach, but we will get him in a front office capacity, and that's probably great. That it's great news, right? Since we didn't know really of maybe the true health of Coach, that if he's able to be active in the front office of the Spurs, that seems like a pretty good situation. So I'll look forward to hearing from Coach. Amazing coaching career for Popovich. There were 303 coaching changes during his tenure in the league. Man, that sounds incredible to me. An average maybe there of several per team, basically. But see Coach there moving on into the front office. So I just thought that was pretty wild. And how did you do with your sports betting day? Let me say hello to folks starting to come in here for the show today. And who is here to join me today? Is Abel's here today. Hello, we've just seen goals. He's talking soccer here with some of the action here with Brighton and Newcastle here. I'm watching that. We just had goals just a moment ago. We had Tottenham score against West Ham here in our action in the EPL, and Manchester United with a goal here early on against Brentford. As we are underway with 3 games. Earlier it was Lazio defeating Empoli in Serie A action. Atalante leading Monza here 1-0 in the first half. Real Madrid blowing out Celta de Vigo right now 3-0. Just about to get underway here in the Bundesliga with Holstein Kiel taking on Augsburg, and action in France right now. No score. Angers and Nantes. All right, who else is here? Nuke is here today. Thank you, Nuki. He says, smash the like button, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. And who else can we say hello to? Cash Kane is here. My Nibbler is here today. Great to have My Nibbler here. I haven't seen My Nibbler in a long time. Thank you. And also, we have Jermaine's ready to go. Joe W. here as well. We had a long night last night, it says here from Jermaine. Yeah, we up late there. Nasty Nate, he smashed that UFC card. I can't say the same for myself. Great job, Nate. I ended up just 7-5 on my picks there yesterday. Duke with some good plays here. New England, remember, he had them. He had the Stars with that great comeback, and the Nuggets here today. He says sometimes you just got to ignore that steam and fade it there. All right.
Steam play.
Jermaine's got some props here ready to go. We've got some steam for Nuke to fade today. Just in right now. Let's take a look with the game between the Kansas City Royals and the Baltimore Orioles. Seeing some steam here right now to get us started this morning on the under here. It was 9.5 under 15, and we might be heading to 9 over here at this point with a move to the under with Kansas City and Baltimore today. All right. And Jermaine saying those playoff Clippers just showed up and folded their tent there a little bit. And Nibbler says Clippers deserve to lose that game. I don't know. I think the Clippers, I thought the Clippers, you have to figure where they've been and where the franchise is. Yeah, they've won some series before. They probably should have won this one with their advantage there, but they ended up fading. All right. And Nuke says he was happy about that Dallas Stars game and what the line was there. And Robert McCormick is here today as well. Tremaine says take Kansas City in the first 5 in that game we just mentioned. All right. Appreciate everyone joining me. Let's look at also some action last night or yesterday, some afternoon games as well in the major leagues. We were able to bring home some winners here yesterday. Man, I had some exciting baseball games there. I was talking about it with the guys last night. How about the Miami Marlins winning last night with a walk-off grand slam by my man, Kyle Stowers from El Cajon, California. His second home run of the game was a grand slam walk-off style, snapping their 6-game losing streak because they were able to beat the A's. We did have the over as our play here on the show yesterday as the Marlins defeated the A's. And then another former San Diegan, or I guess he kind of still is a San Diegan Daniel Schneemann, he hit a grand slam in the ninth inning. Two San Diegans with grand slams. Toronto led 7-0 after, or 3-0 after 7 innings, but the Guardians came back. Schneemann, he also had 2 homers in the game, as did Stowers yesterday. Kevin Gausman did throw 6 shutout innings for Toronto, but it wasn't enough as Cleveland got the win there over Toronto yesterday. Another cool homer was Cody Clemens of the Minnesota Twins. He got a home run there with his dad watching yesterday, and Minnesota beat Boston 4-3. I had also winners here on the show yesterday with the Houston Astros on the run line over the White Sox yesterday. They beat them up pretty good. Also had a winner with the under in the game with San Francisco, with Pittsburgh there yesterday. With my Padres, the Padres were able to pull it off there late with the wild pitch by Bednar, scoring Fernando Tatis, who returned from injury, and the Padres won it late there yesterday, 2-1 in that one. For the Padres, when they're 4th in a row right now. Pittsburgh has lost 6 of their last 7. Also, Philadelphia, we had them yesterday over Arizona here on the show, and they knocked off the Arizona Cardinals yesterday. Also, we had a winner here on the show with Seattle and Texas game to go under as our call here yesterday, and Cubs-Milwaukee game to go under as well. We had a winner here on the show in that one. We also had the Dodgers over the Braves there with Roki Sasaki there yesterday. After the rain delay, the Dodgers were able to win that one comfortably in a bit of a blowout there. Also, we had a winner with Kansas City and Baltimore game to go under late last night. I had a premium winner, Detroit and the Angels game to go under there late last night. All right. And we're seeing a goal here by Brentford, tying the game up here against Manchester United right now. A little more steam coming in to get our day started. It's on the Chicago White Sox, everybody. The White Sox are on the move here. Let's take a look at that. Also, right behind it, more action coming in, Detroit and the Angels. We are seeing some steam here to the over in that game between Detroit and the Angels. Olsen against Kokonowitz. It was 8.5, but probably going to see this one could go up to 9 under here right now with Detroit and Oakland. We're seeing some movement here early on the board, lighting up here a little bit with that game. We're going to 8.5 over now at some books here. I'm sorry, a 9 under at some books here right now with that steam move to the over, and also that White Sox move here. Should note a little bit of news in that game for Houston, so I don't know if this is part of it, but the White Sox, like I said, are on the move. Houston was minus 215. It's down here to some books as low as $1.85. The move is on the White Sox. Just to note, Houston in this game is starting Lance McCullers, and what a great story, good story there with McCullers making his first start in 2.5 years. You might remember the last time we saw Lance McCullers in a major league game getting, what can you say, it was one of the worst performances in World Series history, but it is good that Lance McCullers has made it all the way back here to the major leagues for today's game to make a start for the first time in 2.5 years. Brighton has scored here, it looks like. Maybe it's going to get reviewed here. I'm not sure. I think Brighton has scored here right now against Newcastle. All right. So I'll see a few more folks in the chat here, and we'll get rolling with the show. Who is it? Jermaine says White Sox having a good. White Sox are amazing! Wow, 10-0 in their first 5s in the last 10 games. That is amazing, especially when they're not able to finish off the games, huh? Blue is here today. Hello to Blue. Ziggy's here as well. Thank you to Ziggy for being here. Abel says, how about my first place Dodgers with all their pitching injuries? Well, you're not going to hear any sob stories from me. They've got another dozen pitchers lined up. All right, Bednar. Yeah, they're not getting their money's worth there, it feels like, with Bednar. And let's see here, Jermaine got some of the action today, it looks like. And Philly Eagle Flyers says we're going to see goals by both teams today here in these games. West Ham and Tottenham now here 1-1 also. So who's next? Newcastle? Got to wait. Newcastle's turn to score here. What's going on? Also, Celta de Vigo scored a goal here over here 3-1 right now. All right. Hey, everybody, I'm going to have some plays today here on the show, but you can get more plays from me over at winnable.com/Ramon. We had made one unit yesterday with our, hopefully you did, if you're a subscriber with our plays there yesterday. Also, we did have a nice play on the show last night as I recommended taking Canelo Alvarez by decision. He was a minus 4,000 favorite in his fight, but take him down to a decision last night. You could have scored him at plus 180 or better, and that's what we did there yesterday. And yes, don't forget, there was the Kentucky Derby with Sovereignty rolling a 104 buyer yesterday and winning the Kentucky Derby over Journalism, as I was disappointed there. Couldn't get my big score of the day. And but a good race, exciting race for sure there in Kentucky. Sovereignty proves with that buyer figure there yesterday that pretty good horse. It's really whether or not we'll see a Triple Crown winner. We don't see. We've seen Sovereignty today out of his stable, getting his walking around like a big star after the win there yesterday at the Kentucky Derby. And I was enjoyed my short stay over there yesterday with razor sharp picks and the guys there yesterday for the Kentucky Derby. And 104, I mean, hey, it's not, it's not 120. We know the track was off too. Who knows with that? But still, I thought the number was pretty good there. Yeah, look, it's not a great number. We know that, but nonetheless, with the field the way it was and the conditions the way they were. All right. Anyways, check me out over at winnable.com/Ramon and get my plays for today in Major League Baseball. Hope we have some great winners for you here in just a moment. And we'll probably have some plays in college baseball today as well. So check me out over there. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off those packages there. Any package you have subscribed to mine over there at Winnable. All right. All right, I think we're ready, set, go here right now in the action here for today. Got a few dozen of you in here right now, so we're ready to go. Belo's here today. I'm not here, it looks like right now. There we go. Here's Belo. He has his pick in tennis today with a Draper over Casper Ruud today. And we've already seen that line out there. Pretty big line. So we'll see. It's $1.90 right now. We're up to $2.10 right now with Casper Ruud. Kind of in a roll here a little bit. He also asked, will the Jets do it tonight at home? They're going to be waving those towels tonight in Winnipeg. Fernando, he had Canelo last night. He paired him up with the Dodgers. All right, Brentford scored another goal here, huh, guys? I'm trying just to do a little monologue, and they headed the ball in for a 2-1 lead here. We're having some goals today. Pretty fun way to start the day here. And I think that's it from you guys in the chat. Man, are we ready to start this show and get some previews going of our action here today? Why not? Let's get to it. We've got a game 7 to go here in just a second, but let's lead off with the first game in the NBA today in chronological order. All right. Game number 1 of the series between the Pacers and the Cavaliers here. Cavaliers favored by 8, and the total in this one, 229. In fact, now 229 and a half. How high is this line going to go? And is that what we're really going to see here in this one with Indiana and Cleveland here today? This line's already went up, I would guess, as many as 3 points from some of the lowest openers here. So guess we're expecting some tempo with the Pacers and the Cavaliers. And I guess if you're the Pacers, you better tempo it up against the Cavs in this one, right? You're not going to try to play, well, you're going to try to play some defense, but I don't think that necessarily can be the main focus for the Indiana Pacers today against Cleveland. So it may be the fact that the Pacers know that the only way to go in this one is to go. It feels like. So this one keeps climbing here to 229 and a half. And this one, look, the Pacers got a really nice team. Remember, they were, pretty darn elite there for quite a while in the second half of the season. And they're winning, obviously winning games to get to this point. But I think nonetheless, winning games during the regular season late, a real strong run, 11-2 right now, including the 2 games to wrap up their last series and advance here over those Milwaukee Bucks. So, they didn't necessarily have it in that last game, and the 126 to a 118 win could be very much resembling of the type of tempo that they might need to win. Remember, man, they ended up there so strong in that match. What was the score? Let me look at this up here. I think I was talking about the previous game for them, right? 119 to 118. Of course, that's right. They did not cover the spread in that one against the Bucks, much to my chagrin, and maybe that's why I'm a little tilted here with the matchup today against the Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 1. Look, Indiana has the personnel, I would think, to give Cleveland a pretty good matchup in this series. I would think the series could go 6 or 7 games for sure. I'm sure you guys do too here. But look, Cleveland with the very strong defensive players and the way they're going, and they're also very strong getting out of the gate. Man, they're really a real strong first half margin team is what they've done for most of the season, getting off to great starts against their opponents. Now, these 2 teams, Indiana has actually had Cleveland's number a little bit. That's what I was mentioning there. They won the matchup at Cleveland back in April, on April 13th, 126 to 118. That's what my notes say here. Anyway, as Indiana won and got the number, I think, in that one. Let me see here. I'm ready to go to the picks here already with you guys. Anyways, Cleveland 12-3, their last 15 games at home. Cleveland 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games. Overall, Cleveland is 4-2 against the spread against Indiana in their last 6 meetings between the clubs coming into this one. Cleveland has gone over in 4 of their last 5 games coming in, and Indiana's gone over in 5 of their last 7 games coming into this one. You guys are already firing away, so let me just go to the chat here. Enough of me, and see what you guys have in this one. And this one is at 6 p.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Pacific time today with Game 1 between the Cavaliers and the Pacers. Here we go. It's going to be, I think we've got the plays here from you guys. Let me find it. Michael Piccione's here today. Thank you, Michael. And Nuke says, yep, the 3 out of the 4 wins. That the one game the Cavs did win was 127 to 117. And I think I may have said it wrong there in the monologue or in the early part of the preview. Blue here is on the Pacers plus the points. Nasty Nate likes the Cavs in the second quarter here today. Uncharacteristically, but I think maybe Nate sees maybe that what I'm seeing there with this Cavaliers team. They do get off to pretty good starts there. Pacers and over here for Abel by Nibbler says he's going to take Cavs second quarter after seeing Nate do it. A little bit of steam here right now in the major leagues with the Miami Marlins against Oakland. I said it against Athletics here today. With Cabrera, Miami, they were plus $1.25 or so, but looks like they're on the move here right now in this matchup, as the A's are down here right now to minus $1.25 or so, so about a 10-cent move on Miami here today after the walk-off yesterday. All right. Bilo says in a couple of those games, Cavs did rest players. 2 of them, I think, for sure. 9 Legacy gets it started, I think, on the picks. Oh, no, Abel also. I missed Abel. Pacers and over. 9 Legacy on the Pacers. Tremaine has my man Evan Mobley over. Let's see, is it? He should get there, he says. He had double digits in the season matchups. Ziggy likes the Cavs to win. Bilo likes the Cavs in the first half. And Celta de Vigo, which game is 3-3, Jermaine? Is Celta de Vigo about to score here and I'm delayed? It's 3-2 over there right now. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong game. And Jermaine says, let's see, I'm a psychic, possibly. I think that's what he's saying there. And Robert likes over in the first half. Blue likes over in the first quarter here in this one. Guess I got to make my call here today. I'm taking Cleveland. I felt like I was going to be on Indiana throughout the whole series. Is what I, once I knew the matchup. But I think in game 1, I'm going to take Cleveland here. I really think Indiana's probably in a good position to fight back in this series. Like I said, I certainly think that this series has 6 or 7 games in it. I don't think Cleveland is they are a dominant team. They're really good, right? Oh, yeah, thanks, Tremaine. Yeah, I guess I was just typing. Let me fix that. Oh, I have it on the wrong game. That's what it is, right? It was supposed to be on the Warriors and the Rockets game because look at this. We're going to get to the Warriors and the Rockets right now, but I didn't have anything there on the Warriors. Right, that's where it's supposed to say 3-3. Maybe I had a late night last night with the guys. Did anybody see me eating my barbecue on screen all night? Had a fun night. That's usually what I'm doing. Usually when I'm watching those guys, eating some Saturday night, having a good time. But okay, there it is. Pacers, game 1, series tied 0-0 with this one. And look, that's what I felt like in the series. I mean, Indiana, I'm not saying they're underrated at all. I think everyone knows how good this team is. But the Cavaliers, did they do it in kind of anonymity as well here this season? And we've kind of waited for this Cavaliers team to reach this point. They've been growing here the last couple of seasons, building with new talent as well, and kind of reached this pinnacle here. But man, the Pacers, to a certain degree, shouldn't be overlooked with their talent too, because look, you've got Pascal Siakam. We know his strength and history and everything, he probably could have a pretty strong game here against Evan Mobley today. And Halliburton, obviously, a pretty elite player. Miles Turner, talk about Turner and his offense. Great three-point shooter, good three-point shooter, great for his position, obviously. And no, Darius Garland, no, I think Garland, let me see what his current status is here. I think he might make this lineup here today. Garland's status was questionable here. It's still questionable with that toe injury, but man, I felt like maybe he was going to make it. I mean, he's pretty durable, but we'll see. But the line here is definitely 8 for the most part. We are seeing a few books just ticking at 8. I'm going to take the Cavs to get it done here. Maybe the Cavs in the first half is maybe the right play, but I'll take them to eventually get there and cover this spread. But I have a feeling that I might be bouncing back. Look, every game is different. Well, I'll make my pick when I get there too, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be on a lot of Pacers. In game one, I'm going to be on the Cavs here, but I don't expect it to be a dominating series by the Cavs. I think the Pacers give them a real battle. Again, you guys, yes, maybe there were 2 of the games where the Cavs were not playing their full complement of players. I think that is a fact. But Pacers still had a pretty good run with these guys here. And I'll try the Cavs here. You guys made your plays. And let me see. We got a few more Justins here today as well. And also, we have Justin McKelvey here. He is on the Cavs over the team total here. And 9 legacy. Okay, I guess that's it from you guys here. I think I have a premium on the total here, so check me out over at winnable.com today. Gotta have a couple plays here anyway. Let's get ready to roll to game number. Now we got game number 7. Let's go to it. Okay, there we go. Series tied. And look at that total. It's already gone well past that. When did I type these numbers in here? The line is currently about 2.5 for the Rockets, and the total is up to 205.5 here in this one between the Warriors and the Rockets here. Game number 7 tonight. This one is at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific or so. We'll see with the Warriors taking on the Cavaliers here tonight. Here's a little more steam for you if you so choose. Steam, we already talked about the over in Detroit and the Angels, and now the Angels are getting steamed here against Reese Olson and the Tigers. Kokonowitz goes for the Angels today. The Angels were getting $1.55 or so, but they're going to be down to $1.45 or maybe even lower here. The Angels are getting steamed against Detroit. Bargain hunters might say Detroit, a little bit of value there maybe with that line moving towards the Angels. Okay. Let's go here with the Warriors and the Rockets in Game 7. We've seen the Steph Curry talk out there and the type of numbers that he puts up in Game 7s. He never leaves the floor. He plays 42 minutes every time. He averages 33 points in Game 7s. It's also going up against one of the toughest assignments of his career, it feels like, in this series against Houston. I mean, they've already held him down. I'd say held him down 3 of the games for sure in this series, including the last one. And here, Houston is favored to win, obviously, and take Game 7 after it looked doomed for the Rockets, right? But now they've worked all the way back as the number 2 seed and gets this game at home over the Warriors. So for as great a job as the Warriors have done here as the 7 seed, working their way in from the play-in tournament, still, right now, they are an underdog in this game to the number 2 seed Houston Rockets, who kind of bounced back impressively to not only get the series back at home, but also favored to win and advance. All right, we'll go to the chat. Get your pick ready in this one. The Warriors have failed to cover 4 of the last 5 games of this series, obviously against Houston. Remember, they still have that dominant record against them, but now it is all the way. Remember, when we started this series, it was 2-17, but now Golden State has won 15 of the last 20 between the two teams overall. I think that's the best we can shape the stat to the Warriors' favor anyway. Warriors 7-2 in their last 9 games on the road. Coming in, Houston actually has lost some games here. If you look back at the 2 of the end of the regular season in this series, but 7 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Houston's actually gone over in 10 of their last 15. Man, this baseball steam's pretty hot today, huh? We're going to see some steam here to the over in the game between Cleveland and Toronto. Tanner Bybee and Bowden Francis. It was 8 shaded to the over, I think, but right now we're going to see this one moving higher here. We're going to start to get some 8.5s shaded to the under in the matchup between Cleveland and Toronto. Steam to the over there in that one with Bybee and Francis. My name's not Francis. All right. And let's see how you guys have this one here between Golden State and Houston tonight. That total keeps going up here. These NBA games keep going over, it feels like, right now here in the playoffs. Well, yes, we did start with unders for sure, but right now everything's headed over. In fact, 12 of the last 16 NBA playoff games in general have gone over here in the postseason. And the move has clearly been on the over here as well. I think this one opened as low as 203. I'm sorry, 200.5 even at some books. This one started that low, and it's just continued to go up here a little bit. So I kind of like it over too. And I think that's going to end up being my play here in this one. I'm going to end up on the over in this game between Golden State and Houston. They tell me that Steph Curry puts up big numbers in game number 7. Now, Amen Thompson and these Cavaliers have done these Rockets have done a pretty good job. Also, a good job by Alperen Sengun and Steven Adams. They've kind of dominated the boards, as expected, or maybe more so than expected against Golden State. Yeah, maybe Golden State doesn't have the answers with Dre, with Jimmy kind of having to play big in there. I guess they could go to Moody. Maybe they could put Moody in there a little bit to try to disrupt this, but then obviously that gives some really big shortcomings as well. So Houston seems to be in a pretty good position. Golden State's got obviously still players of championship experience on this team with Curry, with Green. So you're going to give them a chance here, but the Rockets have played to this point. To get to this point, let's go to the chat here. I'm on the over as my show play here in this one. Let's see what you got. All right. Oh, that was 9 legacy. I think you meant SGP, over Point Halliburton first quarter and Miles Turner over. I think that means SGP. I was like, did Scott Van Pelt make this? Is this his play? Warriors here for Blue. He likes taking the points in this one. Justin likes the Warriors to win. Houston for 9 legacy here. Nuke likes them as well on the war, talking about the Warriors here. Abel's got his SGP with Curry over those points and his threes. Fred to have a big game. Look at all those points. Abel's got to like this one over with all these over player props today. Step under for Jermaine. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I think they said a 33-point average in game sevens for Curry in his career. This is his seventh game seven of his career. But again, this Houston team, it feels a little bit different defensively, doesn't it? Here's Ziggy, likes the Warriors still, despite the little bit of a move to the Warriors. Here's Abel on the over. Cash Kane, Warriors on the alternate line. And Nuke says they won't be cold late. Fernando says Warriors, team total over. Robert's on the Warriors here. You guys are liking, it feels like the Warriors are the play in the chat. There's some Rockets support. AOD wants Man U and Newcastle here maybe to rally in this one. Will says Rockets team total over. Flea Mathis is here this morning. Hello to Flea. And also my Nibbler likes the Warriors here. There's no way they lose this game. Abel says we've got it as a consensus here. There's not enough support for the Rockets here today. Consensus for the Golden State Warriors. All right, I better just take the over then here. I don't know if I'm quite feeling it the way you guys do, but man, I can't argue with the great overall success of the Warriors. Long, all those victories, all those wins. Maybe they could have one more in them here as a number 7 seed on the road to win and upset Houston here. If it didn't have Warriors splashed across the front, I don't know if they'd be just a 2.5-point dog. Granted, the team probably is worthy of the higher ranking since Butler came over and has done a great job. I definitely think you could argue that Butler, since he missed that game with injury, well, he was pretty good that last game, no doubt, with the 9 rebounds, 8 assists, just missing that triple-double there in the last game. And the game he came back was good. Maybe I was thinking about the big blowout loss. The one they lost by 15 points. Let me look at something here. All right, that might be it from you guys. Let's see here. Is Green going to disappear? Could you notice it, you guys, with Jalen Green and his painted black? He's got black fingernail polish on. All right. Amen Thompson gonna ball. Steven Adams, he's been really good in their Blues. Got an over prop here. AOD says Draymond's gonna get ejected here, and he likes Fred to ball. And I think that might be it from you guys in the chat. Thanks a lot, everybody. I'm gonna take the over in the Warriors and Rockets here tonight. I think that's it for the NBA. Let's go now to the NHL playoffs with game number 7 here tonight between the St. Louis Blues and the Winnipeg Jets. And we're in Winnipeg tonight, where they're going to be favored here, $1.50, $1.55 here right now, with Binnington up against Hellebuck. Hellebuck, he's at home here. Maybe that'll be the big difference.
Final.
And remember, it's still the way that, St. Louis here, yes, they won all those games at home. They won a lot of games on the road as well late in the season, right, as part of that big winning streak. And then they kind of cooled down on the road a little bit, but still they're pretty awesome when it comes to, that home winning streak that got them this win to at least give them this game here. This one needs a series tied also. I'm typing it in right now. Maybe I did screw up the here we go. There we go. Got it now with the Blues and the Jets. So game number 7 here tonight. And Winnipeg, look, they've earned this right to host this game as the best team of the regular season, right? Winnipeg's been a what have you done for me ever type of team when it comes to the playoffs. They seemingly have had some other opportunities. They always haven't been the favored team, but they've had their chances and kind of left their fans hanging a little bit. St. Louis has lost 6 straight games on the road coming in here. So Winnipeg's gone over in this series has gone over in 5 of the last 6 games here, if I'm not mistaken. Let me call that up here. Winnipeg 8-1 in their last 9 games at home overall. St. Louis has won 3 of the last 4 in this series to, kind of force this situation here. Winnipeg has won 9 of the last 10 games at home against the St. Louis Blues coming into this one. So, I'm on the Jets. What can you do? It's $1.50, $1.55 or whatever. I think it's done. I think the Jets will get this one. Might not be totally equitable when you're talking about a $1.50 price here right now. In fact, like I said, there's some $1.55s out there, but I think the Jets win and get it done and move on tonight against St. Louis. Maybe even figure game 6. You could even put a puck line on there. Maybe you could make it -1 here in this one. I'm going to take the Jets to win tonight over St. Louis in this big game. St. Louis has won just 5 of the last 20 meetings overall between the two. Obviously, 3 of them right here before that. Remember, it was a 2 and was it 2-9 when they started this series, right? Or 2-12, 2-12, of course. Now 5-15, their last 20 against Winnipeg. Tough to do the math when you're staying up late with the guys there last night. All right, let's go to the chat here and see how you guys play in this one. Blues and Jets tonight. And note the start time here is at 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific time for this one. So you got a little bit of overlap with the hockey and the hoop, and that should be great and fun. All right. And Blue is on the Blues. How about that? Justin says, give me the pick, give me the pick. And my Nibbler says Winnipeg's going to get them. They're going to peg them. Whoa. Maybe I should have said like that. Philly Eagle Flyer on the Blues. First period and full game draw. And the over here. Ziggy likes the under here in game number 7. And look at the total that I have on there, right? So, if you're a 5.5 type of person, like Ziggy said, and Ziggy probably got a much better price than this, but for the most part, it is a 5.5 under at -$1.55 at minimum, probably more like 60 or 65. The 5s are juiced to the over at -$1.25 or $1.30. Yeah. It feels like here in this one. So,
Final.
Game 7s, maybe the old theory is, you're going to, lean to the over, the under on these Game 7s, tight, close to the vest. Nobody wants to give it up. But we saw last night, right? These empty netters in the playoffs, maybe just a tad more even than in the seasons past. We know you're always going to get these goals on the end, even more so than in the regular season, but we're kind of seeing them in all the games almost here right now with the desperate team. So it would have to be, 2-1 heading in here late in the game or 3-1 just to make sure you kind of keep it under. And, well, I guess there's a possibility that St. Louis could end up with just one goal. I think if they get 2, the game's going over here. Or maybe St. Louis wins it. I am calling for a Winnipeg win myself, but could go the other way, but the situation will still be the same when it comes to the empty netter. So maybe it's 1-0 for a long time. Who knows? But so was last night's game, right? It was dragging on there 0-0 after one. Different teams. You don't want to totally compare them, but you can compare the late drama of a key game, right? All right, let's see here. If it's Jets, it goes under, says Blue. Jets puck line with that empty netter, says Nuke. Abel's going to stick with the under here in this one. Robert McCormick's on the Jets. Nine Legacy's on the Jets. Good morning. Hello to Skunt Blaster. Great to see him. He says, give me your money line splits. His sight's down there a little bit. I'll do it, Skunt. He says, the cash isn't just the cash flow here. So again, every site's different, right? That's why I kind of shy away, but I'll give you exactly what they're saying here on the Don Best screen with currently public percentages here. 60, which game here? Warriors and Houston. Okay, 63% for the Rockets here and 60% on the under. Let me go to the Sports Insights numbers because those are a little more exact to give the money and the tickets, which I like. And they're showing here, the Sports Insights. Maybe that's where the numbers, the numbers aren't coming in there. Maybe I'm on the same service as Skunt. So anyways, John Best has it at 63% for Houston. So hopefully that'll help you out a little bit there, Skunt. And maybe I could show, I was talking to the guys last night about an app that I really like to use, a Juice Reel. Maybe I could even show these numbers a little bit. Juice Reel takes anybody who wants to sink their bets into the Juice Reel, and then it comes out. And the thing I like about it is these are actual, while the other numbers should also be trusted, these are people who actually take the time to sink their bets in. No, I want to say vagueness to the numbers, but let me see if we got them here against the spread. Still going to be Warriors here, 2/3 of the money on the spread so far on there. So, okay, maybe that one's the opposite there. That's why I always have trouble with those, but nice to see you, Skunt. Nice to see you around here these last couple of days. And let's see here. And Skunt says, I'm not looking so good. Maybe I'm just old and tired. All right, will the Jets be singing the blues? And Skunt does like the Warriors actually to win the game. Abel says the Jets are. Yeah, it does feel like the Jets are. Because Abel, thank you for taking charge here today, and that way I won't just blow off the drawing. I think at the end of the game, right? All right. Guess that's it for the hockey game. Enjoy that game tonight. Should be pretty fun, pretty exciting for sure. And I'll take the Jets to get it done. Okay. We're going to go to baseball here right now. And we're going to get started here early. When does the 11:30 Eastern MLB game? Usually I'm the guy that brings us this useless information. But when does the 11:30 baseball game? What week? What month does it start? I'm ready for it. Do have early action here a little bit with the. There we go, Mets and the Cardinals, because they're in a doubleheader here today because of the rain out yesterday. So we'll get this rookie pitcher in here, Blade. Sorry. There's some names, and then there's Blade Tidwell here going for the Mets, and kind of caught him by surprise. A Mets prospect getting called up here today for his big league debut. Highly anticipated for Blade Tidwell here as he gets the call. He's a number 15 prospect, but maybe just because of his situation here, he's a 24-year-old, I believe, making his debut here in this one as he got the call. I don't think he knew, but when you can add that one player there a little bit, didn't really look too much into it if that's the way they were playing it, but get a call of an extra player. Usually it's a pitcher in the doubleheader, and Tidwell gets the start here as the Mets cards kind of shift their pitching. Remember, it was going to be McGill and Fetty, right, yesterday, but now we're getting Tidwell and Fetty, and then the late game McGill and Palante. So we'll break them up. I'll cover that Mets game 2 a little later because it is much later in the afternoon. It's kind of a day-night doubleheader tonight with the Mets and the Cards. Here as the Mets go with this first-time starter here today for the Cardinals and Fetty here in this one. You do have Fetty coming in here with, let's see if we got his, we kind of covered this yesterday, obviously, with these guys. Let me see what I got here. I think I might have screwed up my notes a little bit because of the pitching shuffling here. For Fetty, 1-3 with a 4.6 ERA, 2.35 batting average against, a 2.52 BABIP. The Cardinals are just 1-5 with Fetty here on the mound. We can start to get your plays here. Game 1 of the doubleheader, and the Mets are favored at minus $1.25 or so. This one's kind of been going down a little bit. It might even be lower than $1.25 at some spots. And again, we got the rookie here on the road going up, against Fetty, who's can do a pretty nice job at times. But go ahead if you want to make your play in this one in the doubleheader. I know doubleheaders are a little tougher, but this is game 1 at least. Final for this one. And the chat looks like you guys are already rolling here a little bit, but in the doubleheader, we'll see what we got. Here is Cards for Justin Blue, likes the Mets in both games today. And Ziggy likes the over here. Robert is on the Cardinals. Justin says Soto in a prop here. Play. Also, here's Cash Kane. He likes final Cardinals game 1 first 5 here. And let's see here. Over for Fernando. Skunt says this is how you can make the money early today. Red Sox Brewers money line. Blue says over in the first game, under in the second. Hello to Curtis in the chat. Nice to have Curtis. Hi, Curtis. Great to see you in there. Thank you. Thank you, Curtis, for stopping in, saying hi, and your support as well. Let's see here. I think that might be it. Here's Nate Cerna, Mets first to score in this game. Jermaine also liking those totals there a little bit. All right. Let me see. I've got to actually shuffle it around here a little bit with this matchup now. All right, I'll make my call then in this one with the Mets and the Cards. Mets have dominated the Cardinals right now. They've won 9 straight games against St. Louis coming in, including 7 of the last 8 here. We talked about it yesterday, so I don't want to get too deep into it here, but St. Louis has won 12 of 18 here at home, right? Is that right? And I think that's it from you guys in the chat. So let me take the New York Mets here to win with this touted pitcher here. Yeah, he's got to overcome a little bit, but man, this is a dominating series right now for the Mets. 9 legacy, though, let's say Cardinals first game, Cardinals second game to end that 9-game losing streak against the New York Mets. Cardinals, I don't know. They're still 14-19 right now. Hasn't been a great start to the season for these guys. Mets obviously playing terrific. Winning 2/3 of their games so far this season. So at least in game 1, I'm going to try the Mets. Let's go to the next one here with my Padres taking on the Pirates. You got Kolek here. Kolek was, you know, just up with the team here. He's been mostly a reliever for this team. He won't run real deep here in this game, but maybe serve as a bit of an opener here for the Padres. He's been with the club. He's been mostly a reliever with the Padres last year. Going up against a hot pitcher here, kind of, in Andrew Heaney. Padres have won 4 straight after beating Bednar last night. It was aggressive base running by Fernando. He basically won the game for the Padres almost single-handedly there late in the game, with him returning to the lineup for the first time after a little spell with a minor injury. But Fernando, an amazing stolen base actually in the 9th inning. Fernando is now the 7th fastest player in Major League history to reach 100 home runs and 100 stolen bases with the same club. In terms of games, it took him 547 games to accomplish that, the 7th fastest player to accomplish that. Fernando eventually scored on a wild pitch that didn't even bounce away from the dirt circle at home plate. It only bounced a few feet away and was able to slide his foot in there, and Padres got the win. But the Pirates are favored here with Andrew Heaney. In fact, it's a bit higher than this actually right now. $1.20 or higher here today with the Bucks favored, and the total has crept up here a little bit to probably 9 under at -120 or so here in this one with the Padres and the Bucks. So Padres try here for the sweep. Yeah, whatever happened against Tampa Bay, the Padres had some weird losses in there, but Padres have beaten Pittsburgh here in 8 straight games now, just like the last game, Minnesota with the Mets and St. Louis we're talking about. Padres are 8-0 in the last 8 games against Pittsburgh. Pirates here have lost 7 of their last 8 games at home right now. But Heaney, like I said, he's been good for these Bucks here, but still, the Pirates, man, they are having some issues for sure right now. You look at some of their numbers here; they're just 12-22 overall. Pretty much the opposite of the Padres. Padres got this insane bullpen. Everyone makes fun of the Pittsburgh bullpen. They've been better than they have been over the last couple of years, but still, it's a bit of a bugaboo. It's not the worst bullpen in the league. In fact, the Pirates are probably a little bit, they might be below par. Pirates bullpen with a 4.26 ERA currently. The Padres, their ERA in the bullpen, 1.79. That's a 2.5 run difference in the bullpen between these two teams. Yeah, maybe Pittsburgh at home a little better. Maybe the Padres on the road not as strong as those numbers might indicate. But what are you going to do? It's got to be 2 runs better still, at least. And Padres obviously starting an inexperienced pitcher with not a lot of, isn't going to run deep for sure as he gets this call up here. May be on the staff here for a little bit right now, given some of the Padres' woes. Heaney, a 2.5 ERA, pretty good, real good actually, because his BABIP is pretty good, 2.15, and a 1.81 batting average against for Heaney. All right, we'll go to the chat here and see if you guys think the Bucks can snap this losing streak against the Padres. Not only have the Bucks lost the 3 games in a row here, 2-1 yesterday, 9-4 in game 1. Okay, I'm ready to go here now with Padres for Justin. Jermaine is leaning Padres. And Cruz O'Neill to go long ball. Here's Ziggy on the Pirates in this one. Abel likes the under between these two. And Nasty Nate likes the Bucks. Maybe he likes the Bucks, maybe he doesn't. I'm not sure. Maybe he's saying, do you like the Bucks? Maybe he's saying there.
Steam play.
Padres should never be, or Pirates should never be favored. Hey, you guys, right now, the Winnipeg Jets, this is big. They're taking some steam here big time right now. We're seeing the Jets from move. We just talked about it, right? And we said we're taking the Jets. We'll get on them now, or it's probably too late. We said they were $1.50. How about $1.70 now at some of the square books? This is a clear move on the Jets going on right now. This is steam. The classic definition, it feels like here. Some people say I just make this stuff up. I just make up that the line is moving, that it's not real. Just do it for attention, like I'm some soothsayer or truth sayer. And that's not the case. The line is on the move big time here. DraftKings is right now up to $1.75. So when this thing says steam move, it's not just some gimmick. The move is on here with the Winnipeg Jets right now up to $1.70 or $1.75. The sharp books are still holding on to $1.60, $1.65, but remember, it was just $1.50. So Winnipeg, clear steam here. Going to have to lay some bigger number here now. Maybe that'll even get you on the Blues. All right, a few more here right now in this one with Haney has got great numbers. You know it is because the Padres sometimes do have almost over a lot of years, but even over the last couple years or few years, sometimes problems with left-handers here. Blues on the Padres run line, it looks like. And all right, Nasty. Oh, Nasty says they call them the Pirates, the Buccaneers. Nate, the Pirates are like the Buccaneers. So, but believe me, just because you've never heard them call, I'm not the first to coin that phrase. It's like a very popular phrase for those guys. Here's Blue says now he might be taking those Jets too. Justin said the team total over. Nasty Nate. What do we got, Nate? Bo Sox. What are the other nicknames for the Red Sox? The Bo Sox. Hey, Gorky's here, so we're going to get some cool plays right now. He told us about Draper last night. He likes the Rockets to win, and look at this. He likes the DC Defenders here. Want to say shout out to Gorky. He brought us a winner yesterday for sure in the game between. Thank you, Gorky. I played that Memphis. They covered, right? Memphis. Gorky said take Memphis plus the points against the Houston Roughnecks. And he's giving you the DC Defenders here today in the matchup with the Michigan Panthers. And I'll have a play from the UFL here at the end of the show. So stick around. I think I've got just one play. It's not DC. So I'll let Gorky, I'm going to write it down because Gorky brought us a winner yesterday. Thank you, Gorky. 9 Legacy, Pirates money line. All right. And Nate, this is what they say when the Pirates win. Unfortunately, they're not raising the Jolly Roger too much. Robert McCormick, though, says Pirates. First 5, money line. And I think all my let's see here. Blue says Master Ramon does too, but his typo said that I died. Oh, Justin went to the actual window to bet the Padres. Walked up. Is that what you mean, to the counter there? All right. Oh, I'm sorry, Gorky. Did I quote it wrong? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm still rolling with you. I guess that's it for the Padre game. Oh, maybe I better make a call here in this one between my Padres and the Pirates today. Come on, do I really want to go against my Padres here right now? The way things are going, no way. Here, Padres are hot, playing well, and they do seem to own this team right now. I got to go with the Padres in this one. All right, next up, let's keep it going here. Let's roll. Let's show a little bit faster here. I might be dragging from last night, stalling us here. All right, Rays and Yankees here with Taj Bradley going up against Will Warren. And you got the Yankees, a big favorite here in this one with the Yankees favorite here, $1.75 or so, maybe even $1.80 here right now. We're starting to get a few lineups. We'll touch on them here if we have time. But you do have the Yankees 19-14 coming in here. The Rays are just 15 and 18 here right now, and you have Warren
Final.
in here for the Yankees. He's got a 5.62 ERA so far this season with a 2.97 BABIP coming in. Taj Bradley, 2-2 record overall. The Rays are 3-3 with Bradley on the mound. He's got a 1.3 WHIP and a 2.86 BABIP coming into this one for the Rays here. They have lost 4 of their last 5 games. They've gone under in 7 of their last 8 games, including 5 straight on the road. The Yankees have gone under in 7 of their last 8 games at home, and 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under. And the total here is definitely down to 9.5. It's a full half a run lower than what I have listed there on the screen. I don't know, maybe, you know what, and maybe it never was 9.5. It might be a typo. So let me just put it in here because get your plays here in this one between Tampa Bay and Kansas City. But maybe, just maybe, you might know what I'm already feeling in this one. I'm on the under here with the Yankees and Tampa Bay. Give me the under here. Let me go to the chat, though, and see. Maybe I should wait for you guys here, and we'll take a look. All right.
Final.
Nate Cerna's on the Yankees. Ziggy likes him on the run line. Robert is taking the Rays, though. Yeah, I mean, you're getting the Rays here, obviously, as a big dog, and the more experienced pitcher, that's for sure. Maybe even the better pitcher, shall we say, with Bradley. And I don't even know if Bradley might be underachieving a little bit so far this season. Judge to go yard here today. And Fernando, he's taking the under with me. These two teams have combined to go 25 and 36 to the under so far this season. The Rays are allowing 3.7 runs per game. The Yankees are allowing 3.9 runs per game. This series is tied at 1-1 here right now this weekend. And Yankees, they are averaging 5.5 runs per game. All right. Under and Judge over in his total bases, says Abel. That might be it from you guys in this one. I'll take the under with Tampa Bay and the Yankees. All right. Hey, I just saw let me make sure I got this. I think I just saw the update. We talked about it yesterday with, I think with Spoons. You out there, Spoons? With talking about Sally Perez, because Sally, it looks like he is going to be in the lineup. Let's go to it right now. The Royals. Remember I said Sally likes to play those day games a little better, it feels like. And you've got the Royals here on the road with Michael Lorenzen, 3-3 record, a 3.48 ERA. And Kyle Gibson, he does not have an infinite ERA despite what happened in the last game, giving up those, 4 home runs? I'm trying to remember now. Here's some steam to the over real quick. Got to bring this to you. Athletics and Marlins here, steam to the over. I will say this about that. I do a show on the Cover the Spread channel, and I did give out the over here for this game between the Athletics and Miami, so maybe I'll just leave it at that. But seeing steam to the over right now in that game today, Athletics and Miami, it's going up to 9 here and heavily juiced to the over in this one after we saw that big outburst, 15 runs yesterday. Sears and Cabrera going in that one. All right. And okay, here we go. Right now with this one, Kansas City and Baltimore. Give me your picks here in this one with the Royals on the road here. Kansas City's won 10 of their last 12 games overall coming into this one. Lorenzen a 3.48 ERA coming in. As I said, Gibson, the ERA is 22, by the way. But again, that was one very bad start. And you wonder if, Kyle Gibson, who, come back, if he's going to have anything left this season or have anything to say this season, and hopefully he can get it together here after getting rocked in his first game back to the major leagues. Gibson here just one appearance in that game. All right, let's see, though, how you want to play it with Kansas City on the road here right now. The line currently is up to $1.30, even $1.35 or $1.40 here. The Orioles just going up like we got tomorrow's newspaper, and they're betting Gibson and these Orioles. Look, I mean, the Royals are hot here, right? And Baltimore not so much here. Well, I don't want to say it like that. They have split the first 2 games of the series. Both teams shut each other out. Here it was 4-0 last night for the Royals. It was 3-0 Baltimore in game 1. So we've seen some pitching in the series. Still 9.5 under 15 or so in this one, but you can't like what you saw in Kyle Gibson in the first game. And what is he going to do? Just turn it around? Working to get back to the on the mound here. Let me see. Dying legacy like the Devil Rays in that game with the Yankees. Here's Justin. He does like the Orioles here. Abel likes the over in this one. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game, but you could have fooled me when you're looking at this line. It feels like right now. Brentford has just scored a goal, it looks like here right now. They're celebrating. It's 4-1. They're lighting up Manchester United here at home today. All right. So here with Kansas City and Baltimore, and let's see how you guys have it here. We've got Blue on the Royals. We've got Ziggy on the over here. Robert likes the O's in this one. So a lot of O support, a lot of people having, Gibson maybe on a bounce back game here now that he already got one game in. Royals money line here. All right. Nate says maybe Royals to score first here. I got to take the Kansas City Royals in this one. I've got to see it first from Gibson here. Maybe you just needed one game to get on track, but I'm going to take the Royals to win at plus money. Next up is the Twins taking on the Red Sox here with Garrett Crochet on the mound for the Bo Sox here. Looking for new nicknames, Nate. Crochet 3-2 with a 2.05 ERA, 1.04 WHIP, 248 BABIP, and a 180 batting average against. Red Sox are 5-2 with Garrett Crochet on the mound, and they're also 1-6 to the under with Crochet on the mound. Without him, they're 15-12 to the over. Red Sox are averaging 5.5 runs per game on the nose here this season. Pitching hasn't been outstanding, but it is when you got Crochet on the mound. For the Cowboy, Chris Paddock, 5.6 ERA. The Twins are 0-6 with Paddock on the mound here so far. The widely reported steam came in on the Minnesota Twins. What? Right. This thing is no longer $2.25. It's down to $1.90 at some spots here. Right now, I think $1.90 might be a fair price to call it, maybe even $1.95. But the move has been on the Twins. Maybe the line, maybe it was a little bit too high, but total here also, it has gone up kind of dramatically by a whole half of a run here. It looks like 8.5 over at minus 120, but I don't know, Garrett Crochet going to get hit here by
Steam play.
Minnesota. Got some steam coming in here right now in the game today between the Cubs and the Brewers. Imanaga and Peralta steam to the over here in this one. It was 7.5 juice to the over, but right now we're seeing the Cubs and Milwaukee heading here to possibly 8 under 20. Just starting to see the move come in a little bit here. Doesn't look terribly dramatic, but a little bit of a move to the over. Cubs and Milwaukee. You can still find 7.5s if you prefer the over, but we'll get to that game in due time. Let's go to the chat here in this one. Minnesota and Boston here today with that steam coming in on Minnesota, and the widely reported steam also came in on the over, obviously, here at that 8.5 now. Juiced to the over. Pretty heavy move, huh? All right. We do have we do have, I think, the lineups here in this one. We'll go over it. Let's get some of these plays, though, in here. And Twins for Ziggy. Here's Jermaine. KC first 5 back on that other game, but we'll get that in there. And Old Town team. Okay, thank you, Nate. That's cool. I like that, Old Town. I didn't know that nickname. Or the Red Sox, huh? Blue says Yankees. Boo. Red Sox run line here for 9 Legacy. And my Nibbler says this is a bounce back here for the Red Sox. Red Sox coming in here, game over 500. Blues on the Red Sox on the money line. And hey, get a discount. Twins are hot, says Blue. Yeah, they've won 1 in a row. Remember, they were on a losing streak before that. Crochet to deal. And Robert, though, likes the Twins maybe here on the run line. Likes that move a little bit. Abel's on the over. Nate likes the Red Sox here on the run line. Nick Handy says they've got a fresher bullpen. Jermaine says maybe under in the prop here. All right. Appreciate that. Oh, let me get this in here. And this is important because Nate has a nerfy. For the Twins, Buxton, Jeffers, France, Correa, Bride, Lee, Bader, Larnach, and Vasquez. For the Red Sox, Duran, Devers, Bregman, Campbell, Abreu, Gonzalez, Hamilton, Narvaez, and Rafaela. Last night, Red Sox, Twins brought in Duran to pitch. Duran was at the plate for the Red Sox, and I was hungry like the wolf last night watching the game, eating those ribs, eating that barbecue. But it was Duran versus Duran. All right. That's it. I'm taking the Boston Red Sox, you guys, on the run line to crush today. I got the Red Sox to smash, as we say on the morning steam. Let's go with the Guardians here, taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. We just saw that steam come in on the over. That was it. That's interesting because to me, you got Tanner Bybee. Yeah, the numbers aren't great for these pitchers. Bybee, 4.36 ERA, 230 BABIP coming in. Bowden Francis also kind of weak numbers right now, 5.28 ERA, 247 BABIP, not horrible, and 274 batting average against here. Cleveland won yesterday's game, of course, 5-3 after Toronto won game 1. 5-3, but Toronto led, but it was my man Daniel Schneemann with the 2 home runs, including the grand slam at the in the 9th inning. Now, it wasn't a walk-off there, but nonetheless, my man Schneemann with the home run is second of the game. He had a home run in the 8th inning to put Cleveland on the board. Then he hit the grand slam in the top of the 9th inning to give the Guardians a 5-3 win. Let's see how you guys want to play this one with the Bybee and Francis, Cleveland and Toronto. You look at the matchup between these 2 teams. Cleveland's won 4 out of the last 5 between these 2 teams overall. Toronto's lost 9 of 13 coming into this one. Cleveland's gone under in 4 of their last 5 games overall. Yesterday's game actually ended up, I believe, sneaking over the total, or it could have been a push for some. But let's see how you have it. I'll go to the chat in this one between the Cleveland Guardians and Toronto Blue Jays. Here we go. We're going to the chat with let's see here. Abel says Red Sox was a consensus play. Yeah, that's probably true. I don't know if we saw a lot of run line play in there, so we'll just call it a money line. After all, it is down less than $2 now. To me, the way I look at sports betting, the Boston Red Sox are a discount, are the discounted team here a little bit. The Guardians score first there for Nate. Robert liked Cleveland in this one. Also, Guardians here for Abel. 9 Legacy likes the Guardians. Ziggy likes the under, and Fernando likes the Guardians as well here today. The current line, let me see. I have it listed on the screen here as $1. Yeah, you know what? I guess it is $1.15 or so. And 8 over at -120 here. Seeing some movement right now we just heard the steam. The game between game 1, Denver and the Thunder steam to the over in game 1. Now that game is, pardon me, guys. That game is on Monday. With that doubleheader, Knicks, Celtics, Nuggets, Thunder, it's all the way up to 224.5 right now. Steam to the over looks pretty solid actually. Denver and Oklahoma City. How about that? Okay, so is everybody in with this one? I've got to make my call here today between Cleveland and Toronto. And I think let me look it up here. Let me make sure I get it right. All right. I don't like it. I don't like it. I quit. All right. Help me out, chat. I'm going to make a call on this game. I don't like this game here very much. All right. Nothing from you guys. I'm on my own here in this one. It feels like I'm gonna end up taking the Toronto Blue Jays at home against Cleveland. All right. Oh, here we go. Now we can get the A's are taking on the Miami Marlins here in this one with J.P. Sears on the mound for Oakland, for Sacramento, for Vegas for the A's. 2.94 ERA so far. Edward Cabrera struggling here with a 7.23 ERA. Sears has a 106 whip coming in. The A's did lose yesterday's game to snap their 3-game winning streak. It's tough when you're the A's, right? You're not going to win them all. And my man Kyle Stowers hit that home run. Anyways, Sears is 4-2 this season with a 2.271 BABIP, 231 batting average against. For Cabrera, 333 BABIP. Numbers not good. Miami's 1-3 with Cabrera so far on the mound. The line is gone. 2 here currently. Oakland at minus $1.30, minus $1.25 here right now. So I don't know. Looks like a discount to me on the A's. I'm going to update it. Call it $1.25 here right now. And the total is 9 over 15. It's gone up here in this one. A little bit of a move. The steam came in on Miami. The steam came in on the over. I've got the A's, man. Come on. I'm taking the A's in this one to bounce back and get the win over the Marlins. Boy, it's really raining here right now in Vegas. Scared me a little bit. I think something hit the wall. All right. So I'm going to take the A's. Let me go to the chat, though, here. I kind of went too early, but let's see. Nate likes Sears here, it looks like. Thank you, Ziggy. Great job. And no one really has much on this game anyway, so give me the A's here in this one. Move on now to later afternoon action here. Still early. It's Sunday. All the games are early day. With Arizona taking on the Phillies here, with the Phillies favored at home, $1.30-ish. Yeah, for sure. Total 9 under 15 with Eduardo Rodriguez on the mound for Arizona. And, we've got Ranger Suarez sighting here today for the Phillies. And good news for the Phillies to get Suarez in here today. He's back for the Phillies, and he gets to face the Diamondbacks. He was slow to start the season here. Suarez needed a little bit of a rehab, it feels like, to get things going this season. So Suarez makes his debut, the left-hander here. Rodriguez comes in with a 6.06 ERA so far this season. Hasn't been good so far, but good to see Ranger Suarez coming in here. And, there was talk about Suarez being a reliever when he was able to come back from this injury, but all of a sudden the Phillies, they may be moving Taijuan Walker to the bullpen. It depends, I guess, maybe how Suarez does here. It would seem to be an interesting move to have Walker move to the bullpen. I don't know if it's official yet, but that's what they were talking about. Rodriguez comes in here with a 3.47 BABIP, and if Suarez is ready to go, I'm going to put a little bit of trust in him here. Robert did go over in the A's game. Blues on the Phillies. Jermaine liked the A's first 5 in that other game. Here's 9 Legacy likes Arizona here in this one.
Final.
Jermaine says it's raining in Philly too. It's raining here too. Abel likes the Phillies, and Jermaine likes Philadelphia in the first 5. I like the Phillies here. I'm taking Philadelphia. Man, I'm taking a lot of sides here. For weeks, I was taking a lot of totals on the show. Of course, my favorite. But I've got a lot of sides here. A Newcastle penalty goal. Newcastle has tied it with in the 89th minute here. And what's the big deal about going and grabbing the ball? I know you want to run back there and put the ball down so you can score again, but, the goalie's hanging out of the ball, and we're acting like we're 4 years old on a playground and give me my ball. All right, Robert going under here. Diamondbacks team total under for Fernando. And Philly Eagle Flyers got that BTTS going, and Abel just cashed with that as well. They probably got excited. You guys, a little bit, I don't know if it's breaking news here. Nate's taking Philly, and anybody looking at their apps right now? Philly is getting steamed. You just heard the noise in the background, not something I'm just making up. Go ahead. You can tell me what is your line now on Philadelphia? It was 130, right? Wasn't I right? And now it's 140. It's 145 now at some books right now, probably with me giving out the details here, and then you guys taking Philly. Right now, Philly's up to $1.40 at the sharp books and $1.45 at the square books. It's a 20-cent move right now here on the morning steam. Philly just got steamed. I'm on them. I'm gonna play them after the show here, I guess, and not get a good price. But I'm gonna update that right now on the screen and show you. I manually do this, but I'll call it $1.45 right now. But there's definitely a move going down here right now. No fluke, no joke. I'm not making it up. Steam to the over here in this one. I'm sorry, Steam to Philadelphia here in this one right now, up to $1.45. All right, we're starting to get some word here of some Volpe is doubtful here for the Yankees today. I think we're also possibly get another couple lineups here to look at. We're going to get ready to move to the next game, though. Let's see here. Let's go to the next game here. Let me get this to you. So for Kansas City here against Baltimore today, India's in there. India with Pasquantino, Sally Perez, Garcia, Massey, Renfroe, Waters, and Male. For the Orioles, Mullins, Henderson, Rutschman, O'Hearn, Mountcastle, Holiday, Colby Mayo in the lineup today, and Kierstad and Hanley. So a little bit of an inexperienced lineup in there for the Orioles today there. Couple guys there at the bottom. Okay, next up, Cubs taking on Milwaukee. We just saw that steam come in on the over here, so we're going to update that line for sure. Still, I'm going to call it here right now. The Cubs minus $1.15, maybe $1.20, but I'm going to list the line here at 7.5 over 15. So I don't know if I'm buying that steam actually. Well, I might be, but let's see how you guys have it here with this one between the Cubs and the Brewers with Shota Imanaga here, 2.77 ERA. I mean, I don't know what the Sharps are thinking with two starting pitchers who have looked pretty decent. It feels like Imanaga's 3-1 with a 1.12 WHIP, 2.22 BABIP. Peralta comes in with 3-2 record, 2.52 ERA. Milwaukee's 1-5 to the under with Peralta in there, and he has a 196 batting average against and a 106 WHIP here so far, but the steam was on the over a little bit. Like I said, it's not going up too high, so maybe it was. I start talking about, this steam isn't fake. Well, maybe this one was. All right. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Milwaukee in a bit of a slump here. They have lost 7 of their last 10 games overall coming into this one. They're now 2 games under 500. The Cubs are 21-13 coming in right now with a 3-game winning streak, including the first 2 games of this series here. They won 10-0 in the first game and 6-2 yesterday. So let's see how you have it here in this one. Cubs have won 10 of their last 14 games on the road. Milwaukee's just 3-13 straight up as an underdog, which they definitely are here. I don't think it's going to be shifting at all. So we'll see, but it does feel like maybe an interesting spot here for the Cubs. I'm taking the under in this one between the Cubs and Milwaukee. Let's see what you guys have here today. Phillies were a consensus play there. Thank you, Abel, for doing this today. Missing Thomas. Wonder if he'll ever come back to us. I hope he's playing his tennis. Brewers for Justin. Cubs team total over here for Blue. Nerfy for Abel. Fernando says the Brewers will get swept. He will take the Cubs. He says the Brewers are broken. Abel's on the Cubs. Robert's on the Cubs. Curtis Here, Curtis says Imanaga strikeouts over. Hi, Curtis.
Final.
And Irish Thompson on the Cubs. I know we're going to get this Cubs consensus, I would guess, here momentarily, huh? Fernandez says I'll also go under in this one. And Brewers team total under for Fernando is what he ended up doing here. And I'm on. Wow, Brentford, Man U now all of a sudden 4-3. What's going on here? Wow. Oh boy, did you see that Newcastle shot right there? Great play by the goalie to knock it over the crossbar there, but some hot action here in the last couple of minutes. Irish Thompson says he's got Happ and Bush to get hits, and Abel says Cubs are indeed a consensus play today. We got 5 consensus plays. Nice. Atalanta beat Monza 4-0 this morning. All right. And Gerald Jones. Hello to Gerald today. Nice to have Gerald. He says Capper's best bet, A's, minus $1.25 there in that matchup against the Marlins. Thank you, Gerald. All right, so here's the game we talked about with another big leaguer coming back. Big, I think it's pretty big news. 2.5 years really for McCullers to make it back to the major leagues here and get this start for Houston. They could use another starter. Let's hope it works out for McCullers. I'm old enough to watch his dad pitch. His dad wasn't an awful pitcher. Certainly, probably was better than his son, even though his son's had a few moments. He's never really got it go in his career. Bugged by injuries for sure for Lance McCullers Jr. going up against the White Sox. And Wilson here. The steam is coming on the White Sox and the under. And hey, you know what? You could give the White Sox a little bit of credit. They're bad, but they've had a few moments so far this season. They're still 9-24 right now, and they did lose that game yesterday 8-3, but they did win the series opener here 7-3. And let's take a look at these two pitchers, or let's take a look at Wilson anyway. I think we've covered McCullers here for the most part, and Brentford gets that win final now 4-3. Wilson has one start here. He's pretty much just an opener, right? He's pitched 11 games, just one start coming in, but he gets another opportunity here as an opener. He's got a 5 ERA and a 3.39 BABIP. Not great for sure here in this one. Astros here are down to $1.85 or so in this one. So to me, that looks like a bit of a discount on Houston here and maybe worth. I'm going to change the line here on the screen anyway, call it $1.90 total. 8.5 under, minus 115 for sure. I think anytime I'm getting a discount here, I'm going to take the Houston Astros. Nuke told me sometimes you got to fade that steam, and that's what I'll do here. I'll take Houston on the run line today over the White Sox as my play here. And Oldie, nice to see you today. Thank you for stopping in. And Gerald had a little lottery win there yesterday, $977. Cool, Gerald. Gonna have a fun day today. Blue is on the under in this one. Justin says, take the Astros over his team total. I remember when the California lottery started and there was all the rage in the 80s. Here's Abel on the Stros, and I'll tell you about this. 9 legacy on the Astros run line. So, everybody was playing the lottery. Even I did, even though I knew the lottery. We make fun of, oh, man, these, now the sports betting, the straddle's getting larger and larger. Well, the lottery doesn't even pay you 50 cents on the dollar, but we were all playing it back then, standing in long lines at liquor stores to buy tickets or whatever it was. And one of the first weeks of the California lottery, everybody would watch the numbers, and I was watching the numbers, and I was counting along, and I'm like, I've got one. I've got 2. I've got 3 in a row. You could have a little ticket with like 5 or 6 numbers, and you try to get it right. And then I was like, I've got 4.
Final.
And all of a sudden I have 5 on the ticket. And the last one, the first 4 I had, then the 5th one I didn't have it, but then the 6th one came in and I had 5 of 6, and then they had the bonus number. And if you got the bonus number, it was $200,000, and they put it on the screen, 32. I got it, $200,000. I'm jumping up and down, 200,000. I'm not dyslexic. I'm, not. It said 23 on my ticket. I thought I had 200,000. Now, it was cool. Actually, did cash the lottery with the 5 out of 6 with no bonus on that instance, and it was $14,000. I was like, wow, I didn't know it was going to be this much at that time, but I thought I had $200,000. I broke my toe, I think, jumping up and down, and that's right. That's exactly able. No, mine was earlier than that, but it's still right. That's what it pays right there, about 5 out of 6. And at the time, I guess there were more tickets or whatever, but yeah, it was about I think 18,000, and then after the tax, I think it was like 13,800 or something. I don't know what it was, but I don't think I ever played the lottery again after that. I think I was like, I think my time is up. And being a bettor that betting was a little different back in the 80s, how you bet, who you bet with, and where you bet. But I remember, man, there's a sports book called Intertops, and I would have an old MacBook, not like this one I'm on here or anything like that. It was like a clunky thing, but you bet on the internet, and well, I guess 1980s, and we weren't, but back in the early 2000s, and the page would like you talk about now when you can't get in the bed or the wheel of death comes up, you'd have to wait 30 seconds for the page to load to get your bet confirmed with Intertops. Let me move on, you guys. We're almost done with the show. Mariners here and the Rangers. You do have for the Mariners here. Let's talk about Evans on the mound in this one. Here for Logan Evans here. He did make his, I believe, major league. We've seen him already make his major league debut in that last game, and he looked pretty good, right? 3.6 ERA, 121 batting average against a 0.83 BABIP. Looked pretty good. But he is going against Jake DeGrom here right now, and for DeGrom, 1-1 with a 2.73 ERA coming in, 215 batting average against, 253 BABIP coming into this one. The Rangers are just 16-18. The Mariners are on fire right now. Texas has lost 4 in a row because they've lost 2 straight here to Seattle by the score of 13-1 and 2-1 coming in. Texas in a bad way right now. You think the offense was bad before. I mean, right now they've scored 3 runs total in their last 4 games. They are stuck. Their offense is stuck now. They are facing an inexperienced major league pitcher here, but that pitcher did have a good game. Texas has lost to 7 of 8 coming into this one, and including they've lost 6 of their last 7 at home. Seattle's won 5 straight now against Texas. They have a 6-game winning streak coming in. Seattle's gone over in 6 of their last 7, but Texas has a wild streak still going. Remember, they are 3-16 to the under at home this season. Seattle has been going over of late for sure. They're 9-5 to the over on the road because they've got some pretty good bats for sure, but that's pretty serious. 3-16 to the under so far for the Rangers. All right, let's see how you want to play this one with Seattle and Texas today. Seattle on the run line, plus 1.5, minus 140 is where I'm going with this one. I'm going to take them plus a run and a half going up against Jake DeGrom. Inexperienced pitcher, yes, in Evans, but he did have a good first outing. So let me grab him on the run line, lay a little money here. Let's see what you got. Joseph did Intertops. It was like my first online sports book, I think. Before Intertops, before the online betting, what we had was you would call, there was a thing, anybody old like me, Bowman International, and the ladies would be on there, and you'd talk to the ladies with the nice accents, and they'd give you they'd read the bet back, and those were cool too. Nine Legacy, Texas Money Line, Blue is on the Mariners here. And hey, well, you guys are having some lottery stories in there. Lottery's still huge today, right? Especially when these big numbers everyone piles in. Robert here on the under. And my Nibbler, thank you for being here. That sounds great. That's going to be great today for your family. And Gerald's in the black today this year in the lottery. Awesome. Okay. So I took the Mariners. Let me keep going. Let me finish this show, you guys. Come on. Rockies here and Giants with Ramon Marquez going up against Logan Webb. And is it really 370? Is that what yeah. Well, it might be not. No, I think it is pretty much 370. Maybe there's some 350s at the sharp books. Maybe the square books are even 375 or higher here right now. And let's take a look at this one right now with this big line here. Poor Colorado here. Remember, they just won 2 in a row a little while ago. Now they've lost 2 straight to the Giants coming into this one by scores of 4-0 and 6-3. After Colorado won the first game, come on. Now, we're getting a little bit too high here, even for the Rockies here. I mean, Logan Webb, yeah, he is Logan Webb after all, but the numbers aren't overwhelming so far with Webb, are they? 2.83 ERA, 365 BABIP. That's not great. But Marquez here, 9.82 ERA so far. The Rockies are 0-6 with Marquez on the mound. He's 0-5 overall with a 4.15 BABIP. Not good at all here so far. But even the Giants on the run line today is kind of a pretty high price at minus 1.5, minus 170. But what are you going to do? I'm taking them anyways. It's all I can do. I guess I could lay 2.5. I don't know if I want to lay 2.5. I'll just take the Giants to win and keep this going right now. Rockies averaging just 3.1 runs per game so far, so it's going to be tough enough just for them to score, I would think, here against Webb early on. And Jermaine likes the over here in this one, and Blue likes the Giants, of course. Probably not too much from you guys here in this one. I'll give you another second or two before I move on, but I'll just take the Giants here. Run line. I'm not going to try to get cute here against Logan Webb with Marquez at this point. Give me a couple more here, maybe, and I would. Not a couple more, but give me a different pitching matchup. Maybe I could try the Rockies to cover the run line a little bit, but Jermaine's on the Giants here in this one. Team total over for the Giants today for Jermaine. All right, I'm going to move on, though. If you guys want to chime in, go ahead. Tigers and Angels. Man, the Angels took the steam here in this one against Reese Olson right now, and the Angels aren't looking that great. Are they? Yeah, they won the game yesterday. They ended that losing streak. They beat them up pretty good, 5-2 yesterday. But Jack Kokonowitz goes here for the Angels, 5.29 ERA, 287 BABIP coming in, and you're getting maybe that discount on the Tigers here, right? Tigers are down to $1.50 $55, maybe $1.60. I don't know if it's a huge discount. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game. Currently, it is either 8.5 over 20 or 9 under 15 or so here in the matchup with the Tigers and the Angels. For Reese Olson comes in here with a 3.55 ERA, 2.99 BABIP. Coming into this one, Tigers are averaging almost 5 runs per game right now. The Angels only averaging 3.6 runs per game so far. For the Angels here, they've lost 7 of their last 8. Detroit's won 7 of their last 10. They beat the Angels still in 5 of their last 7 matchups between the two. 13 of the last 18 games between these two teams have gone over. Angels have gone over in 4 of their last 5, and the Tigers have gone over in 5 of their last 6 coming in. So let's see how you have it here. The Sharps are clearly on the Angels today, and I think I'm going to be on the Angels, actually, and I'm going to take them on the run line. Minus $1.20 or so. Give me the Angels here, plus a 1.5 today against Detroit. I'll trust Kokonowitz here to keep him in the game here a little bit, despite his pretty weak ERA. His BABIP is no worse than Reese Olson, so I'm going to try the Angels here for sure in this one. A couple comments from you here, and it's going to be blue on the Tigers. And Olson, over 6K. I think this is probably over 6.5 Ks. And also likes the Tigers, -2. All right, and let's keep it moving here right now with another matchup with the Washington Nationals taking on the Cincinnati Reds. You got Mackenzie Gore going here for the Nationals. Gore with an ERA of 3.51, 3.44 BABIP. Washington's 2-5 with Gore on the mound. The Reds go with Nick Martinez. The Reds are 1-5 with Martinez on the mound. 4.68 ERA, 2.62 batting average against, at 3.02 BABIP. Coming into this one, the Reds have gone over in 6 of their last 8 games against the Nationals, including 4 of the last 5 games here at the small park. Washington's gone over in 5 of their last 7. They've beaten Cincinnati in 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams, although Washington just so far on the road hasn't been great so far this year. Their streak currently is at 6-13 on the road, I believe, so far this season. Cincinnati's won 7 of their last 10 coming in. So let's see how you have it here between Washington and Cincinnati. I'm taking the over here with the Nationals and the Reds today. You guys, let's see here. And Irish Thompson says, how about 1 man versus 20 gorillas? Remember, if you were with us last night, or I don't know if you follow the hottest topic on the social media is men against 1 gorilla against 100 men. Apparently, who would win? Here's Abel on the Tigers. Here's Nat's team total over for Jermaine. And Gerald says Gore over 6.5 Ks today. Robert likes the Nats here with Mackenzie Gore on the mound. All right, gang, appreciate that. And second game next up, second game of the doubleheader here. So approach with caution. Oops, I've got the wrong lines up there. I'm not only the host, I'm the graphics man. All right, you got Tyler McGill here, $1.40 or so, 7.5. Oh, that total's wrong. Okay, that's what I did wrong. There we go. The 7.5 under at -15, and I got to update the pitcher too. There we go. All right. Now, Andre Palante on the mound here for St. Louis in this one. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in game 2 already. I don't know what they can accomplish here with these Sharps by betting early, I guess. But you know what? I might not disagree with them. I got to make a play on every game is my promise to you. And I am going to go with the under. I think we're looking at the better pitching matchup there. We talked about the earlier game, right, with Tidwell and
Final.
Betty. It does feel like McGill and Palante does feel like the better pitching matchup. You have uh, McGill, 1.74 ERA. We know he's been very solid so far this season with a 198 batting average against. Does have a 286 BABIP, so regression probably coming here. But man, this Mets pitching staff is pretty outstanding, aren't they? I'm taking the under here in this one in game 2 with the Mets and St. Louis. Palante, 4.13 ERA, 242 BABIP, though does show that maybe pitched in a little bit of tough luck. 242 BABIP with a 4.13 ERA. I think that means Palante's been better than advertised here for the most part. Cardinals still averaging 4.5 runs per game. The offense has done pretty well here. They're still 5 games under 500 heading into this doubleheader today. But I'm going to take the under here in game 2. And let's see here. Mets for Blue, Mets for Sancho. Why not, right? Mets, like we said, they own this series right now. We'll see what happens in game 1, but Mets do dominate right now over the Cardinals. And time for Sunday Night Baseball tonight with the Dodgers and the Braves. You got Dustin May, 3.95 ERA and a 216 batting average against coming in. Dodgers averaging nearly 5.5 runs per game so far this season for the Braves, and Bryce Elder, 5.33 ERA, but a 259 BABIP, so probably will improve a little bit, even if it is against these Dodgers. We saw late night last night. Maybe the delay helped the Dodgers as they end up blowing out the Braves, sending them to their third straight win, third straight loss. The Dodgers are hot here again right now with another winning streak. Whoop-de-doo, good for them. But actually, Dodgers on fire here. They're 21-8 as a favorite so far this season. The Braves as a dog, just 2-7. Current price on this game is down here to $1.35, so there has been a move on the Braves. A widely reported steam did come in on the over. We're looking at mostly 9.5s here. For the most part, the Dodgers are down to $1.35 or so in this one. So let's see how you have it. Last game of the day, and we're going to get out of here and have a great sports betting day. Thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam. I got my UFL pick coming up in just a moment. So who do you like here in Sunday Night Baseball? I like the over here in this one with the Dodgers and the Braves. Give me the over tonight as my pick on the Morning Steam show. And man, I kind of want to go against these Dodgers tonight on Sunday Night Baseball. I do want to go against them. I'll take the over, though, as my play. I'll decide later, but Curtis here says, take the Dodgers. They're the champs. Abel, Dodgers and over. I can't stop you guys in this one. Look at Abel says, Dusty May, over 3.5 Ks. Freddie gets a hit, though, off of him here, or maybe that reliever, but take Freeman to get a hit, he says. All right, I guess that's going to do it for the Morning Steam. Let me make one quick play here. We already saw, right, the Defenders and the Panthers. We got the pick. From Gorky, he said, take DC. I'm going with my play. In the next game, I'll take the under here with the Brahmas and the Stallions today in UFL action. The Stallions are now favored by 11, actually. And DC, remember, Gorky said take them +3. The line's down to 1.5 now because Gorky, once he releases it, the money came rolling in, I guess there feels like. All right, that's going to do it for the Morning Steam. I think we have enough to do the drawing. Thank you, guys. Dodgers for a consensus. Well, I guess I'm stuck now. You guys are taking the consensus, so, I trust my chat. Like I said, I kind of want to take the Braves tonight. But, all right, here's Abel on the Dodgers and over. Good morning to Sub. Thank you for a great night, Sub. We sure had a lot of fun last night. Yeah, we did. And great picks. Thanks for saving me a little bit there, getting me on some. Like I said, I only came up 7-5 with a 1-unit win there on the UFC card. I got too cute there with the the underdogs late. I mean, no reason to go with Figgy in that one against Sandhagen. That was just, that's why I trust you guys. And I didn't listen. I just did my own thing. I go on the show trying to look like an expert. I get my one big chance on the UFC show, and hopefully you'll have me again. But hey, at least I came through with that Canelo play there. And by the way, just to mention it, and Sub's a big boxing capper too, but I'd mentioned it last night on the show because they announced it after Canelo's fight that Crawford and Canelo, we're going to get that fight here in Vegas at the Allegiant Stadium, the fight that everyone has been pointing to for years. Maybe here, is it too late for Canelo? Is he washed up going against Crawford? Here they'll fight at Allegiant Stadium on the first weekend of the football season. They're going to fight on a Friday night here on the first NFL weekend of the season. Will be Crawford and Canelo Alvarez in Vegas. They announced it last night. I think it was already kind of in the works, they knew it and they just needed Canelo not to lose, or I don't know how it worked out, but all right. Yeah, Fernando Volpe is out today, I think we saw, so that is a little bit of a factor here. There have been some other, let me see if there's anything we can really report here. The lineups are starting to come out in several games, and maybe we can recite a few of them here. But again, Terrence Crawford is the opponent for Canelo. It's the fight boxing fans wanted and needed. Mets here today: Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Nemo, Winker, and Torrens, McNeil, Acuna, Luis Angel Acuna, of course, and Azokar for the Cardinals, Nootbaar, Burleson, Donovan, Arenado, Contreras, Gorman, Pajes, Scott, and Barrero. All right, maybe we can get a couple more here in real quick. If not, we'll wrap up the show and do the drawing. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Sub. We got that Liverpool, the big game here coming up. Liverpool and Chelsea just minutes away right now in the EPL. Maybe I should get my screens ready here. Right, is that the game? Let me make sure I got did I get the right sub there with the game time coming right up, right? Yeah, you said it, in 10 minutes. Liverpool and Chelsea, pretty closely rated game. Obviously, Chelsea is a slight favorite in that one, but could a draw be in the works today with Liverpool and Chelsea? All right, let's see here. NASCAR today, also Formula One from Miami coming up. Thank you, Twisted. Sancho's on the Warriors. Here's that consensus. Let's go ahead and do it for the drawing. Let's do the drawing here real quick. I'll put my commercial up, get my best plays over at winnable.com today /Ramon. I'm going to send out my package here a short time here after the show. Got some plays lined up. So check me out over at winnable.com. Appreciate everyone who's been subscribing. Yeah, my baseball's been pretty mediocre, but I think we've done okay. I know that I haven't been putting out a lot of basketball and hockey plays during the playoffs, but you know what? Playoffs are, really regular season games are more apt to be premiums than the playoffs. That's just the way it is because the playoffs here, playoffs are closely rated. So anyways, let's do the drawing, see who wins. And hopefully it's okay. Hopefully you don't mind it, 56 cents a day. Hopefully you're getting your money's worth with me. All right, Scott, Tex, Irish, AOD, Abel, Nate, Jermaine, Cash Kane, Nick Handy, Nuke, Gorky, Nate Cerna, Gorky again, Nuke, and it's Skunt Blaster. So good to have Skunt be our winner here. He doesn't make it by too often, but maybe Skunt will win the consensus parlay today. Thank you, Skunt, for stopping by as well. Really appreciate you. And let's go. Let's wrap it up here on the Morning Steam Show. Thank you for joining me, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, with more Morning Steam. And let me see. I thought I maybe had another lineup or two. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to take up your time here. So Gorky gave us that DC Defenders. Man, it's on the move here. It might even go to a pick'em here right now. That's 1.5. So, all right. Thanks a lot, everybody. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. Ramon Scott, sports money. Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.